Hi everyone, it's BODEGAPROFETA, and today's episode we're going to be talking about Aries season. Aries season starts March 21st and ends April 19th. This is not only for Aries, this is for anyone who's watching. This is just really for you to take from each sign and learning what good things come from each sign and learning what negative traits each sign have. Just to an overall be a better person and try to help ourselves. At least that's what I'm trying to take from all of this. So on last episode, we spoke for obviously Pisces. We were talking about the sine wave diagram of long-term history. The beginning of Aries starts at 2000 BC and it ends at 4 BC. So 2000 BC is the time of Abraham. So Abraham's most famous iconic story is when he talks to God and God tells him like, hey, you have to sacrifice Isaac for me, to prove and test your faith. Like, I want to see how much you really believe in me. So how he had to prove it was to kill his son. So Abraham is like getting ready, to kill his son essentially because God asked him to. And in the midst of it, an angel intercepts Abraham and tells him, "No, like don't kill your son." And so instead of killing his son, he ends up, I think, killing like a ram. Yeah, a ram. So he sees a ram and sacrifices it instead of Isaac. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. The angel said, "You were ready to kill your son, your only son, for me. Since you did this for me, I make you this promise. I, the Lord, promise that I will surely bless you and give you as many descendants as the stars in the sky. There will be as many people as sand on the seashore, and your people will live in cities that they will take from their enemies. Every nation on the earth will be blessed through their descendants. I will do this because you obeyed me." And this story, like, when I first started reading the Bible, stuck to me because I'm like, why would God tell this guy to kill his son? Like, that just wasn't sitting right with me. And I spoke to this about my grandmother. She's really super religious, in a sense. And she told me, she's like, he was testing him. He had to prove himself worthy to him. God wasn't going to let him do that. But Abraham didn't know that, Abraham was just ready to kill him because God said so. And that's just kind of like saying, like, we go back to this faith. In every video, I want to tap into this, like, so much because, that's kind of extreme, like, for anyone to hear. And I can see why people are, like, hesitant and stuff about getting into their religious side or their spiritual side, because it is a test of faith. Like, reality is, I have to kill my son to prove to God that I love him, but God didn't let him do it. That's the point. God didn't let him kill his son, basically. So let's just keep it at that. And we do get tested every single day, and like it seems that when you're at your best and your happiest, that something comes and like tries to take you down. And I'm really firm on there's angels and then there's demons, and the angels are here to help God. They're his messengers. And then the demons are, obviously trying to take you down. There is something going on, and I don't want to get too crazy into that. Like, we'll leave that for another show. But let's tap in back to this. So when Abraham saw the ram, and now, the time of Abraham, he sees the ram, he sacrifices the ram, and obviously Aries is depicted in astrology as the ram. The story goes in Greek mythology, like, these two kids were going to be killed, and then the ram comes, saves them, and they jump on the ram's back, and they get saved. And to celebrate the ram, they put the constellation in the sky for the ram. So it kind of ties in almost not really exactly, but you know, the ram saves Isaac in the Bible. Um, so I also have a lot of Aries in my family. I honestly, like, it took me a while to do this video because I just want to say the Aries that is in my life is causing a lot of a lot of tension in my life, and is my brother, and I love him so much. My father was an Aries, my brother's an Aries, my cousin, who's like basically my sister's an Aries. Like, I'm very familiar with Aries energy, and like I can vouch for them. And honestly, they are the books, if you read about astrology books, you know, Aries is a fire sign. They are courageous and headstrong. Like, this is also another reason why the ram is represented for Aries, because they're, you know, if you've seen like these documentaries about rams, like in nature, they're just like headbutting each other and fighting and improving themselves. Like, I am worthy. Like, I run this like back up of, nah, I'm gonna mess you up. And they fight and they fight until there's a winner. And that really, that does represent Aries. Like, Aries are so dominant, and sometimes they can be dangerous. They don't understand how much power they have. They're so straightforward and they're so honest. That's one thing. They are very honest, to the point where they don't realize that they can hurt people's feelings. Me and my father, the Aries, me and him used to get into a lot of heated arguments. I'm very headstrong as well, but he like takes the like he really takes it. Like, he would not back down. Like, his way is the right way. And you know what? They are very smart. So they're gonna want to influence people around them. They want to let them know, like, no, this is the right way. And people don't realize that with Aries, like, people like to think that Aries are like, you know, like little airheads and stuff. No, they're not. They're one of the most smartest signs out there. I'm very strong in belief, and I really strongly believe that. You know, they are, I come as I am. Like, they're gonna present themselves a certain way, and that's them. There is no facade. There is no in between. It's as real as it comes. Like, that's them. And whatever they say, trust and believe that's the truth. They're always gonna speak their truth, even when the truth hurts. They don't care, and even if they and even if they make a decision and like change their mind, they're gonna let you know. They're always gonna be straightforward with you. Their opposite sign is Libra. Their opposite sign is very indecisive, and this is not Aries. Aries is very decisive, and they can make a decision quickly, and you know, based on their own opinions and stuff, and what's going on. They'll do their homework, but they can make a decision, unlike Libra, who is very like hesitant and can never make a decision. So they also are, they're just like so sweet too. Like, Aries, it's like a, you know, they can be very sweet. They will do anything for their family. They will do anything as well. Like, they're very giving. And that's the thing. Like, they'll give and give, and then when they get fed up, it's kind of like, oof, you don't want to see them mad. You definitely don't want to see Aries mad. When they are out of balance, they can become very confrontational, as represented as the Rams. They can get insensitive. They won't care about hurting your feelings. And, you know, they might feel bad after, but in the heat of the moment, they really won't care. They will say anything. As long as it's the truth, they will like just be like, oh, it is what it is. And not care if they're hurting anybody's feelings. They won't like to compromise if they're in low vibration. They don't want to compromise. It's either their way or the highway. A lot of tantrums. They can get a lot of tantrums, and they can behave very unkindly. In order for them to get out of this like rut, out of this low vibration, they have to learn to slow down and actually listen to other people's opposing views. This can help them develop composure. And personally, from not like all the Aries I know, but majority of them, they can get very aggressive when things aren't going their way, and they like to assert themselves. And that is a good thing in leadership, but sometimes they can take it too far. So for myself, I definitely, what I want to take from Aries season right now, we're talking about spring. We're talking about, testing our faith with that biblical reference for Abraham. There's just so much we can learn from Aries. Like, we can, if you're a very passive person, maybe you can learn to be more headstrong and not let people walk all over you and assert yourself, What else can we learn from them? We can learn to be leaders as well in our communities and our families. We can learn to stand up and just be honest with our family when they need to hear the truth, even if it hurts. There's a lot of things we can learn from Aries. And the whole thing with like the ram, it just clicked to me. Like, I write my notes and everything, but like I didn't even realize that when Abraham saw the ram, and then that the Aries sign is depicted. I'm just going back to like religion, astrology, all of that is always tying together. Like, there is an origin of these biblical stories and this astrology. And I'm seeing like a lot of people like hate on astrology and say like it's the devil's work and this and that and this and that, and that tarot is bad. Like, I just want to put my 2 cents out there for anyone who is into astrology and does tarot and reads their horoscope. You can do this and also believe in God and have faith. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As long as what you're doing only comes from love, and you're just spreading love, and you're just trying to be a better person and heal yourself, there's really nothing wrong with that. I continuously pray every day. I believe in God, and I am very obviously into astrology and zodiac. For me, the two go hand in hand. God gave us these tools to help ourselves and better ourselves, and as long as you're doing that and you're not hurting anybody, there's really nothing wrong. But back to Aries, yes, they're fire sign. Obviously, fire is something that is not really tangible. It's not, when there's a fire, the only way to put it out is with water, and it's a lot of water. Like, it's not a little a fire will spread, and it will be very hard to put out a fire. So like, when you see an Aries and they're pissed off, honestly, I would just keep my mouth shut. I would just keep my mouth shut. If Aries is yelling at you on the phone, if you want to let them talk, or just be like, you know what, maybe we'll talk about this later when you cool down. There's no point of arguing with an Aries, because they see they see it their way, and that's it. And I get it. They are very smart, so they just don't understand why people don't get it. But like I said before, if an Aries pissed off at you, just let them be. Let them cool down. You can't really take down a fire. Just let it burn out. And once they're burned, they become their sweet little selves again, like little Sour Patch Kids. I love Aries. Always will. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. This is Bodega Profeta. Everybody take care. Please like and subscribe.